Most people think job replacement happens suddenly, like a factory closing overnight, or a machine physically taking someone's place. But the reality is much quieter, and that is exactly why so many people do not realize it has already started. Your job does not disappear in one moment. It slowly changes until one day you realize that the skills that once made you valuable are no longer rare, and artificial intelligence is accelerating that process faster than almost anyone expected. Right now, millions of people believe AI is just a tool that helps them work faster, write quicker, or automate small tasks. That sounds harmless, even helpful. And in many ways it is. But there is another side to that story. Every time AI helps someone finish work in half the time, companies notice. Every time automation reduces the need for manual effort, expectations shift. And once expectations change, the definition of a normal workload changes with it. That is how replacement begins. Not with layoffs at first, but with quiet adjustments that slowly reshape what companies expect from humans. Think about how work used to function. Tasks required effort, research, planning, and sometimes long hours of trial and error. Now AI systems can generate drafts, analyze data, create visuals, and even write code within seconds. The result is not immediate unemployment. The result is pressure. Pressure to move faster. Pressure to produce more. Pressure to compete with people who are already using AI to multiply their output. And this is where the shift becomes personal. Because AI does not need to replace your entire job to change your position. It only needs to replace enough parts of it. Imagine your role consists of 10 core tasks. If AI can handle 3 of them, your job changes. If it can handle 5, your value changes. If it can handle 8, the role itself may no longer exist in the same way. That process is already happening across industries. Writers see AI generate content in seconds. Designers watch systems create visuals instantly. Programmers use models that suggest entire blocks of code before they finish typing. The technology feels like assistance, but underneath it, something deeper is happening. The baseline for productivity is rising. And when the baseline rises, companies begin asking difficult questions. Why hire more people if fewer can produce more? Why pay for slow processes when automation exists? These are not emotional decisions. They are economic ones. Economic decisions spread quickly. Once one company increases efficiency using AI, competitors feel pressure to do the same because falling behind becomes risky. This creates a chain reaction. Automation spreads not because everyone wants it, but because nobody can afford to ignore it. Now look at the bigger picture. AI systems are improving at a pace that feels almost unreal. The models available today are dramatically more capable than those from just a short time ago, and every new generation expands what automation can handle. Tasks once considered safe suddenly become vulnerable. Creative work, analytical work, even decision-making processes that used to require human judgment. And behind all of this sits the infrastructure powering the change. Massive data centers filled with hardware designed to train and run these systems at scale. Much of that infrastructure runs on NVIDIA technology, quietly enabling the acceleration happening across industries. The faster AI improves, the faster expectations shift. And this is where the emotional tension begins. Most people do not fear AI replacing their job tomorrow. They fear slowly becoming less necessary without realizing it. Imagine working hard, improving your skills, doing everything right, only to discover that the market now values speed and automation more than experience. That feeling is already spreading. Some workers adapt quickly, learning to use AI as leverage. Others hesitate, hoping the change will slow down. But technology rarely slows down once momentum builds. And this is the uncomfortable truth. AI does not need to eliminate jobs to reshape the workforce. It only needs to redefine what valuable work looks like. Jobs evolve, roles merge, entire categories of work become smaller while new ones appear. The challenge is that transitions never feel smooth while you are living through them. From a distance, history makes technological shifts look obvious. In the moment, they feel confusing and uncertain. People ask the same question again and again. Will AI take my job? But that question might be slightly wrong. A more accurate question might be, how much of my job will AI take before the role changes completely? Because replacement is rarely binary. It is gradual. And gradual change is harder to notice until it becomes impossible to ignore. Now imagine the next few years. AI tools become faster, cheaper, and more integrated into everyday software. Companies begin expecting employees to use them by default. Productivity increases, but so does competition. Suddenly, being average is not enough. People who learn to work alongside AI move faster. Those who resist feel the gap widening. This creates a new kind of pressure, one that feels less like competition against other humans, and more like competition against systems that never get tired. And that changes how people think about work itself. For generations, jobs were tied to identity. What you did defined who you were. But when AI begins absorbing parts of every profession, identity becomes less stable. The question shifts from what do you do to how do you adapt? This is why the transformation feels unsettling. Not because jobs vanish overnight, but because the ground beneath them slowly moves. And once the shift begins, it rarely moves backward. Companies optimize for efficiency. Markets reward speed. Technology keeps improving. The system keeps pushing forward. So maybe the most honest statement is not that AI will replace your job someday. Maybe it already started. Maybe the process began the moment companies realized they could achieve more with fewer people by combining human creativity with machine scale. And if that is true, then the future of work is not about whether AI replaces humans. It is about how humans redefine their value in a world where intelligence itself becomes scalable. Because the real danger is not losing your job overnight. The real danger is not noticing the change until the rules have already shifted. And by then, adaptation is no longer optional. It is survival.